Alright, so on the map I left Calgary this morning. We can't see it, I came down this way, came down the Black Diamond, Turner Valley. I'm at Longview right there. That's where I filled up, and we're going to take this highway all the way down. And then continue all the way down into the Crowsnest Pass area. Hopefully do some photography. There's actually, this is the last gas stop for like a couple 100 kilometers. And the day doesn't look like it's all that good for photography so far. So I know we're gonna head her out there. It's the first long trip I'm gonna take on the Jeep. We're gonna see how it's gonna roll. So hopefully it turns out. So we'll keep vlogging as we go along. So here we are, we made it on the first trip of my little journey here. We're in the Crowsnest Pass area. Made it through the mountain range, went through some few sketchy sections so early in the year with snow, but we made it through with the Jeep and just gonna tour around the area now. There's the Jeep right there, and we got the falls here with some ledges. You can walk up and over. We'll go do that now. Stop on my journey in the Crowsnest Pass is at this old mine site. This was, I think it was one of the houses or one of the buildings of the mine itself way back in the day. You can see it right there. And I'm shooting a time lapse of it. The weather's not that great, so I'm shooting 240 shots at approximately 1 second apart. Underexposed on the building so I can get the sky, but that's what it is. I wish the clouds were a little bit better because you'd be able to see them trail across the sky like at least half sunny day, but we're just kind of wing it for now and see what happens. These ruins here were of the owner's house. This is where the owner stayed. And the miners would have stayed in a lot smaller shacks. But even for back in the day, in the 1800s, early 1900s, it must have been quite the house, I tell you. Alright, just gonna shoot this from outside. Looks like the storm's rolling in the mountains now, so I don't know what else I'm gonna get into today. I was hoping to do a lot of photography, but this snowstorm kind of put a damper on shit, so I guess we'll cruise into town and see what's all happening. So I'm just going to show you this part here with all the rocks on the side. Unfortunately, on this side of the highway, you can't see it because of the snowstorm. was that back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, they were mining coal on that side of the mountain, and while they were mining inside the mountain, actually the whole side of the mountain came down, and where all the rocks are was the town of Frank, and the town of Frank got completely buried underneath all the rocks and stuff. Many people died. There were some survivors, but I'm gonna see if the center is open for us to go up there and check it out. I'll just kind of film it as I drive so you can see the extent of the damage that the mountain did when it came down. It goes on for quite a ways. Jesus, it's ever getting ugly outside. So there's the mountain there, that's Frank's Slide. You can see where it came down the mountainside. And there's all the ruins right there. We had a break in the weather. I don't know how long it's gonna last. There's something else blowing in. It's just how strange the weather is in the mountains here. So that was Frank's Slide. Like I said, the whole town was buried. Lots of people died. The miners did make it out, and the miners made it out safely by mining their way through the top of the actual coal seam till they hit the rock and managed to get out that way. 3 miners down below at the loading towers, the T-pole, whatever, were killed. Numerous other people were killed, but that's not the biggest thing. Is Hillcrest Cemetery we're going now was the largest mine disaster in the history of Canada. There was almost 200 miners died when the mine blew up. So I'm gonna make it over there and check out that before the weather turns. I would like to go check out the mine site. The lady gave me kind of a map on how you can access the mine, but not sure if I'm gonna be able to reach there or not. The weather's kind of iffy, and it's a little bit of a jaunt. But this part of the country is a little special for me because 100+ years ago, when my family came over from Europe, this is where they had settled. And I don't know if I have any relatives in this area anymore. I actually grew up almost probably about 1,200 kilometers away, and eventually over time I kind of moved back to this area, but not directly in this area. I live a couple hours north. But this place is always kind of special for me because this is where my family had set down roots in this area. So I do like to come out here from time to time to explore and check out stuff. So let's make it over to the graveyard before this weather system blows in. So here we are here. This is the monument dedicated to the underground coal miners and their families whose hard work and sacrifices helped to establish our communities and our country. They'll not be forgotten. This is for the Canada's worst mine disaster on June 19th, 1914 at 9:30 a.m. Explosions tore through the tunnels. Only 46 of the 235 men who went underground that day survived. 189 men were killed. And this monument is set up for respect for that. I'll just kind of stroll around here, give you guys a history lesson of some of the things in the area. And then that kind of tells you, well, you probably can't see, but gives all the names of the people who passed away. That tragic accident. And these just kind of tell about all the different accidents in other mines throughout the whole country. And how many people had died. Got my
toque off, even though it's cold out, for respect, because I'm in the graveyard, and you know, I mean, these people tragically died, and they were trying to help found this country that it was, because back in the days, late 1800s, early 1900s, coal back then is what oil is today. It is what makes the country grow, and people sacrificed back then, just as people sacrificed drilling oil in that today. So we're gonna go through the graveyard, and we're gonna find the mass graves where all the miners were buried. Right there, that is Frank's Slide right there. That's the mountain that came down and buried the whole town. So Hillcrest, where I am right now, is actually not that far away. Here we are here at the spot of the mass graves. There's kind of like the plaque set up here, so you can kind of see by looking over quickly some of the ages. It doesn't matter how old you were, there's people like barely even like teenagers, 19, all the way up to people in their 40s. I mean, these guys back then lived a rough life. Here's the map of the cemetery here, and I think a lot of it is probably in the center section, I'm going to assume, because that's the outer boundaries there. But they do got other plaques here too, so maybe a lot of the miners were buried here without stones to identify where they were buried. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to find out more on that, but this is kind of looking around. So I don't know if you can really see, it's a good reflection, but in this picture here it talks about the mass graves, and I guess just kind of burying them in. There's so many plaques here to read, I'm not going to go through them all, but this whole area is interesting to go and check it out. There's so much history here, and there's a whole bunch of small towns in the area. There's about 4 or 5 towns within, like, they're really close, within a few miles, and they all sprouted up in the early 1900s when coal was booming, and that's how these towns founded. And yeah, like, there's just so much stuff. Like, there's talks about the rescue, you can go on and on about that. I guess according to this plaque here, this is where the people are buried. So according to what it says, the families of the men killed in the mine disaster were given $1,800 as compensation from the mine company. A relief fund was set up, and many organizations contribute to help ease their financial burden. This compensation did not go far, even in those days. Back then, $1,800 you'd think would be a lot of money, but in today's standard, it's probably like $180,000, which really doesn't go far at all anymore. Let's see what else some of these other plaques will say. The inquiry, it kind of goes on about talking about what happened, what led up for the mine to blow up. Is that a lot of these stones are masons. There's a lot of Freemasons in this area as well. I'll even go over here, look at this one. It's got an interesting plaque on it. Dr. Robert. Not sure what those symbols mean, but there's a lot of Freemasons, like even over here. They all got that weird symbol, I'm not sure what it means. Even these ones. So here's a Jeep. It actually stayed somewhat clean through all that crap. I was expecting it to get a whole lot dirtier. So just for saying food for thought, on those Freemason graves, I obviously know what the Freemason symbol is, but that star, I was going to say pentagram, but obviously it isn't, because, you know, that's with devil worshiping and stuff. But that pentagram looking symbol, I'm really curious to know what that means. So if anybody knows what that means, please post it below. I am curious. So I think the weather's still pretty good, so we might head up to the mine site now and we'll check it out. Alright, so we're right here right now, and the lady at the Frank Slide Interpretive Center said come up 9th, come all the way to the end, turn right,
come down here, private road, there's the mine. So weather still looks all right. Maybe we'll head her out there.
I didn't actually make it to the old mine where I'd want to go. It kind of leads to like a private laneway, and kind of asked the guy that was close by, and he didn't seem to be too keen on giving me directions on how to get there, so I didn't want to push it or, you know, go investigate. So just being polite, and so I knew of this other place, and I've been here a few years ago, so we're just gonna go around here and check it out. This is what's left of an old mining town, or mining center, I guess you want to say. And wow, look at this thing. Talk about crazy. Must have been like the old generator back in the day. Yeah, this generator's so crazy. I have to get in here and kind of film it again before I leave. Must have been steam powered. What a work of art. As a millwright back in the day, this is what I would have been working on. This kind of shit. You always gotta watch out because there's always shit hanging down. People with graffiti ruining stuff. There must have been another shack on this once upon a time. But it's gone now. I just want to share this stuff with you guys because who knows how long it'll be here for, right? A few more years, this could all be gone. It's called Sullivan. Definitely looks like an old generator system. The old powerhouse right there, giving off some readings. Nice. Let's see what else there is to explore. And there's this old building. Pretty creepy to fucking me. Jesus. It's like the infirmary or something. This place is pretty fucking decrepit. I didn't even want to know what this place was. Try to get a wide angle shot here of everything. There's the Jeep up the road.
Just came from that little ray, came down that little trail. There's that long shack. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's the entrance to the mine. Seems to go way over there. So when you get up to it, that's what it looks like inside. No idea what it's supposed to be. Looks like something loose. Kind of creepy. There's some crazy ass shit around these parts. That must have been the mine entrance. Now it's just water running through. So here we are here leaving the Crowsnest Pass. I'm not even 27 kilometers out of the mountains, and you can see like how different the whole weather changed. There's no more snow, no more roads that are covered in snow. Everything's cleared up and it's like winter was never even around. That's how bizarre the weather gets here.